Heat checker.
Cunningham.
Get her ball. Get her the ball. One more time. Cross. A logo again.
Oh, no. Oh.
She's back.
Oh my God! This isn't real.
Player in the game.
No.
What?
9 points in 38 seconds for
What?
Caitlin. She hit all 3 threes. And not only 9
What
and
is
3,
going
but
on?
look at the depth
I
on
don't know.
these
I'm
field
living
goal
in-
attempts. She's
This
certainly
is-
feeling it.
Oh my
Left
God.
side. Right side.
No.
Now come back to your favorite spot
Oh.
again. It doesn't
Oh.
matter if there's a hand
What
in
am
her
I
face.
watching?
The defending champion New York Liberty were undefeated, steamrolling opponents with ease, and no one had managed to crack their code until June 14. That's when Caitlin Clark returned from injury, and what followed wasn't just a win for the Indiana Fever, it was a complete dismantling of the league's most dominant team. In one historic night, Clark and the Fever shattered 8 records and ended the Liberty's perfect season, leaving their confidence in pieces. But the real shock wasn't just the loss, it was how the Fever transformed that moment into a blueprint for championship-level basketball. If you're excited about Caitlin's return, drop a CC record breaker in the comments below.
Caitlin pulls left wing, the right wing, 30-plus feet. Logo crosses over. Watch it. Oh my goodness! She is back.
Back in the lineup, I'm ready to go.
I think you're just excited more than anything. It gets kind of difficult when you prepare for a game. Obviously, when I'm on the bench, still knowing the scout, knowing everything that the other team's going to do, and still trying to mentally prepare and go through everything like I'm going to play, even though I knew I wasn't going to play. So, doing that, but also knowing I was going to be able to be active today, I think gives you a little extra juice. So I'm certainly excited just to get back out there, get playing, and really good opportunity for us at home here, coming off of a loss. So it's a big game.
Picture this, the defending champions, the New York Liberty, tearing through every opponent like they were scrimmaging against high school teams, entering June with a flawless 9-0 record. They stood as the only undefeated team left in the WNBA. Each game wasn't just a win, it was a statement of dominance. The Liberty weren't simply beating teams, they were dismantling them with a suffocating defense that seemed impossible to break. Opponents would arrive hopeful, believing they had a shot, only to leave 2 hours later looking dazed, confused, and thoroughly defeated. Game after game, the Liberty's defense felt like a brick wall, one that only grew taller and more impenetrable.
We played the Liberty. There was obviously a frustrating ending. What lessons can you take from that experience, and how can that be applied to this, even though I know obviously Liberty look a little different with 2 starters out?
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly you take time and score situations, different versions of handling runs, offensively, defensively. Margin for error is small against a team like New York, and every play matters. Every time we send them to the free throw line matters. Every rebound matters. We can't afford to have empty possessions on the offensive end of the floor. You've got to play your A game.
Every team that faced the New York Liberty came in with confidence, but left completely demoralized. Coaches poured hours into crafting game plans, and players studied film until their eyes ached, yet nothing seemed to work. The Liberty had an answer for everything. Their pick-and-roll offense was precise and surgical, their defense suffocating, and their swagger unmatched. Sabrina Ionescu, Jonquel Jones, and Brina Stewart were playing at such an elite level that even other all-stars, LOOKED, average by comparison. Stewart could score from anywhere on the court. Ionescu routinely hit impossible shots and made passes that defied logic. And Jones dominated the paint, making opposing centers look like they didn't belong on the same floor. Together, they weren't just having great seasons, they were redefining what dominance looked like in the WNBA.
So I think we continue to learn lessons from the first time we played them and from our last game against Atlanta. Every single day that we move forward. I think they're a different team. Certainly, we're going to be a different team having C and Sophie back on the floor. We're going to tip the ball up and go out, and we're going to give it everything that we have.
The numbers told the story better than words ever could. The Liberty weren't just winning, they were dominating, turning games into blowouts and making even star players look average. Their margin of victory wasn't just impressive, it was downright intimidating. Highly ranked teams would come in with confidence and lead with a 20-point loss, unsure of what had just happened. Even the league's top talent seemed outmatched, as if they were playing a different sport altogether when facing New York. Analysts began to shift the conversation not around who might beat the Liberty, but whether anyone could. Sports shows debated how long their winning streak could last, and writers were already crafting legacy pieces. It felt less like a season and more like a coronation.
Welcome to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA. The defending champion and unbeaten New York Liberty coming to town for the second time this year as we get ready for this game. And yes, she is back. Caitlin Clark will indeed be playing today. Missed the last 5 games with a strained quad, taking on the Liberty off to their best start ever. Sabrina Ionescu and company in this big Commissioner's Cup game as well. And as usual, all the seats are filled here.
Then came the Fever's chance, but they knew it would take something extraordinary to turn the tide. Indiana had been struggling, dealing with injuries and constant lineup changes, and they hadn't yet shown the form of a true championship contender. Most fans and analysts expected another routine blowout by the Liberty, but there was one game-changing factor New York didn't anticipate: the return of Caitlin Clark. Her comeback wasn't just timely, it was the spark Indiana desperately needed, and it caught the Liberty completely off guard.
We have an opportunity in front of us right now. I feel like this is like we're starting a new season. You guys, I'm so proud of how resilient we've been up until this point. We're going to continue to have to be, but right now we have an opportunity to continue to take a step forward. Okay, this can be a springboard for us, right? We're marrying energy and effort with execution. Every single possession matters. Hit singles. Hit singles. Make the easy play. All right? Make one another better. Okay? It's our time. It's our time. Let's go. Here we go. Together. 3, 1, 2, 3. Together.
Let's talk about the moment that changed everything. 38 seconds that rewrote WNBA history. When Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the atmosphere instantly shifted. It wasn't just the return of a player from a quad injury. It was the arrival of a game changer with something to prove. From the moment she hit the hardwood, it was clear she wasn't just back, she was ready to make a statement. That would resonate throughout the entire league.
And Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from 2 players with incredible ball from Cunningham. Clark, another long 3. She's back!
The Liberty defense thought they were ready for Caitlin Clark. They had studied her every move, analyzed her tendencies, and watched countless hours of film showing her draining shots from impossible distances. They expected her to come out firing and believed they were prepared. They weren't even close. Then Clark did something no one saw coming. She hit 3 consecutive 3-pointers from distances. That left defenders stunned. The first came from 30 feet out, a range most players wouldn't even consider. But Clark pulled up with the ease of a free throw, nothing but net. The second came from 31 feet, with the same flawless result. The third, also from 31 feet, sealed the moment. By then, the Liberty defenders could do nothing but watch in amazement as Clark redefined the limits of possibility.
Rebound, Fever. Cunningham got knocked to the floor. Caitlin pulls left wing, buries it. She is back. 24-18, Fever down. Caitlin down from the right wing, 30-plus feet. Good again. No one else but Caitlin Clark. Sedantis, handoff. Caitlin from the logo, crosses over, launches. Oh my goodness! Are you kidding?
The most dynamic player in the game. 9 points in 38 seconds for Caitlin. She hit all 3 threes.
And not only 9 and 30, but look at the depth on these field goal attempts. She's certainly feeling it.
The crowded Cambridge Fieldhouse erupted with every shot Caitlin Clark sank, each one hitting nothing but net. Fans were on their feet. The noise was deafening, and the energy in the arena surged. With every bucket, the excitement was so intense, it felt like the entire building was shaking. In just 38 seconds, Clark scored 9 points, a stretch of play that didn't just ignite the crowd. It redefined what's possible in professional basketball. To put it in perspective, most players are thrilled to notch 9 points in an entire quarter. Clark did it in under a minute with that burst of brilliance. She became the first player in WNBA history to pull off such a feat.
And Cunningham is
Caitlin
down
from the
behind
logo.
the
Oh
play.
my God!
But they got Caitlin Clark to fire away from 3. And Cunningham
Logo.
just now getting up as she stayed down near the free throw line on the other end.
Oh! Okay,
Just
why
coming
did
back.
Oh my
he take that?
gosh!
An ankle
Oh
injury
my
and then
God!
Johannes
And of
very
course, Marine Johannes
Two
countered
players
it.
not
Three.
For the logo. But this is why I
Caitlin
love
from the
the
logo again! We got a shootout! We got a shootout!
Oh my
Again!
God! No!
Even Brina Stewart couldn't help but smile, recognizing the pure artistry unfolding on the court. As one of the best players in the world, Stewart has seen just about everything the game has to offer, but watching Caitlin Clark in that moment was something special. It was more than just impressive shooting. It was basketball at its highest level, a rare display of skill, confidence, and instinct that demanded respect from even the game's elite. Called a timeout, but the damage had already been done. Caitlin Clark had shattered their confidence. You could see it in their body language. The swagger built over 9 straight wins was starting to fade. They had come into the game expecting another routine victory, but instead found themselves watching Clark rewrite the report books in real time. This wasn't a lucky run or a random hot streak. This was a superstar making a thunderous statement. After Clark's 38-second scoring explosion, the Liberty's 11-point lead vanished, and the game was tied at 24. She had single-handedly erased their advantage and completely flipped the momentum, and the night was far from over. By halftime, Clark had already scored 25 points, the most she'd ever tallied in a single half. This wasn't just a great performance. It was the definitive end to any doubts about her quad injury. Clark was back, and she was making sure the entire league knew it.
Get it inside to Mitchell. Those two have such a great connection.
Rebound, battled for. Clark comes away with it. Caitlin, outlet to Aaliyah, in stride, right post, and she fakes it in. It's a dime from CC to AB. And that does it for a scintillating first 20 minutes at Cambridge Fieldhouse. It's the Fever 53 and the Liberty 50.
And she was just getting started. With each passing quarter, Caitlin Clark continued to rack up milestones, putting on a show that left the Liberty scrambling. She knocked down a career-high 7 3-pointers, each one more jaw-dropping than the last, no matter how tightly they defended her or how many adjustments they made. The Liberty couldn't find an answer. Every time they thought they had her figured out, Clark would pull up from another impossible distance and drain yet another shot. The coaching staff burned through timeouts trying to stop the momentum, but nothing could cool her down. She was simply